in my humble opinion, there's a certain, depending on what profession you end up in, there's different levels of expectations for socializing. When I mean socializing, I don't mean even one-on-one client work. I mean, depending on where you go, in institutions, their teams, they expect their members, especially when they're younger, to go out to events, to clubs, not clubs, to bars maybe. There's different events that ultimately dominate when someone starts. So clearly the external environments in those areas are challenging. And as a Ben Torah, to be in those environments are very challenging. I took a stance pretty early on because I was married. I was blessed to be married when I started law. And so you have an excuse when you have a kid at home, but you get to play that game. They think you're Amish because you have a kid so young, but it's a whole different story. But I tried very hard in my career early on to really not be part of the social scene, and as opposed to, much like what Ari said earlier, but to make it up with just working harder. So that's really the first aspect, is to recognize that when people want to socialize with you and when they expect you to come to social events, what they're really doing is trying to get to a place where they feel like you're one of them and they can work with you. And the way most people do it when you're living in the secular world is you go out afterwards. At the end of the day, if you're a good person and you're friendly and you work hard and you're not, and you don't carry your religion as something that is a negative or something that's a positive, and you're a pleasure to be around, and you work hard, you'll end up making it up through your work. So that's the first answer, is that the social events I find to be the most challenging, but for the most part, you don't have to engage in them. And if you do engage in them, like I had to do, like in the summers, go in with the recognition that they're challenging. But I would go one step further. The greatest challenge to a Ben Torah is the lure of materialism. When you're in an institution, there is a general culture of the value of success, of money, of winning, of making partner. And you won't realize it, v'haser satan milfanenu ma'acharenu. So the satan in front of you is the one that goes to the bar with your colleagues. So that's hard to resist if they expect you, but you know it's coming. The one that's behind you that you don't see is that environment in the office that is constantly nagging at you to say, success is that corner office, and success is wealth. And you want to know what success was? I got on the partner's jet. And I did this deal, and it was sick. And we met this celebrity. Oh my God, oh my gosh. And then one day you wake up in the morning and you're davening. And by the way, I'm the same way. I'm not a rabbi, I'm not holy, I'm a regular dude. I've got plenty of shachris, minchas, and marivs that I've given to the other side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, plenty of times that my Torah time was really winning at business time. And you have to recognize that if you're going out into the business world, that world, even if there are good people, is mostly a material race. And if you're competitive and if you want to win, you're going to get lost in that race. And you wake up one morning and you're going to realize that what you're thinking about is winning the race. Whatever it is. If you're a lawyer, it's going to be being a partner. And if you're a banker, it'll probably be something more connected to money. Right? And if whatever you do, and even if you're doing more academia, you want to get tenured. You want to win whatever race you're in. And that silent, pervasive, mind-numbing environment is a total and complete destruction of the Ben Torah's mind. And that will get you to stop preparing for Shabbos. It'll never get you really to violate Shabbos, but you'll get real close, so to speak. It's coming right away. It'll get your mind to be thinking about ways that you can win in business versus ways you can win in Torah, in marriage, and all the stuff that makes it. And what's interesting, and then I'll conclude, is that the guys here for sure that are to my right, and keep on going all to my right, when you get to the end of the race, the guys who give up and are now, they lose. The guys who win at the end of the race are the ones that never lose that I'm a Ben Torah first, Hashem runs this world. But along the way, there's going to be, wherever you are, that environment. And if you're not at least aware of it, it'll start to become the air you breathe. And to me, that's an even bigger risk than the more obvious stuff.